And for the room. Welcome again, my friends. We are back for where are we? Cuz episode 5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Welcome. Indeed, and some things have happened. There's an extra light in my face. I'm sorry. Get that out of the way. So anyway, you guys know who this is. She needs no introductions. But how are you today, Chris?
I'm doing okay. Just recovering from a long week. You know the
life of a mom. Life of a mom with busy children.
Yes.
Yep.
But it's all good. They are doing well. They are doing well.
They are growing into some fine young men.
No, thank you very much. But yes, we are back here with these fine folks.
Let's get into the shenanigans.
These many planets in this universe. This is a trippy situation. And has me questioning all kinds of things in life, but we'll get to that once we summarize these episodes.
We're already questioning life.
No, for real though. Like, if the crap really hit the fan and we actually have a event horizon here on Earth, is this where we gonna end up? Is this
more than half of us will die? At least 75% of us ain't gonna make it. Yeah.
So. We started. How you doing, cousin? I never asked you back. How you doing?
I'm hot. Damn. Forgot the damn thing was on my head. That's why I'm so warm. Well, anyway, yeah.
Fresh retie, I see. Hello.
I did. I had two of my friends. One who's my bestie. One of my besties got married yesterday. Married in La Florion. Like, if y'all follow me on Facebook, you can go check out the little videos. She looks so pretty in her dress, and they had like this really nice circle of trees that we did the reception at. It was super cute.
Oh, nice. I like
so yeah, I had to get a little bit pretty.
Yeah,
had makeup on and everything.
I love the theme. That sounds lovely. All right,
it was.
Yeah, good. I'm glad it all went well. So we started with episode 5 is titled Upon Awakening. And we actually start with Gail voiceovering again, and she's talking about how she used to have dreams, or she used to talk to her mom about her dreams, and her worst fear when she was a kid is of black holes and like an event happening where she can't escape and she gets sucked into whatever's happening and she can't help herself. And you see her dreaming as a little girl. She's in the water, and a big wave comes and like engulfs her, and then she's engulfed in the wave, and she wakes up. And it's
so creepy looking.
She's in the what they said on the screen was before, and then we quickly realized that this was before she met Harry Seldon. So it's on her planet Synax. They are. Her mom calls her for morning rites. Time for morning rites, Gail. She's apparently an acolyte. She's acolyte Dorning. And she is assisting the priestesses and priests with their duties of the church.
And she's good.
Yeah, they believe in the sleeper. She's walking the line here, she's right in line. Her parents are proud of her. And then the sleeper is the god that they serve, and their end prayer, like how we say amen or in Jesus' name, they say upon awakening. So she voiceovers. Yes, they hate books. They ban books in universities and all knowledge.
Yep.
And they
are
totally dependent on dreams and their intuition, I guess, or whoever's intuition they're depending on.
Which is so strange, given what happens later when knowledge of a future event is brought to them. They don't want to believe it.
They don't want to believe it. They said they depend on the
science
words of the sleeper only, and math and science are witchcraft.
They the absolute witchcraft, even though they could be one and the same thing.
Correct.
Especially for their world.
Yes, this is future world. Like, I don't know. I don't know how we got there. That would be an interesting spin-off.
Yeah. I would
right?
like to see that world. Yeah, like the
Yeah.
origins and how their people
How
came
did
to
we get
believe
here?
that
Because at this point in
going to
time,
school
there's
was
barely
terrible.
anything above water. And then you hear her talking
Yeah,
to her parents about how the tides are rising, and they're like, "Are these the sleeper's words coming through your mouth? What are you saying?" And they don't really want to hear anything more. It's like they have this veil over their eyes just to follow along blindly. I never understand how people get so indoctrinated in something that they lose all common sense.
yeah.
Like
It
you can
makes
open
me
your eyes and
wonder.
see what's going on around you, and you're still not accepting that. Go ahead.
Right. It also makes me wonder, like, what if she would have said yes? What if she would have just played into the part to try to make things get moving, so
Everybody
she
would
can
die,
save lives? Then what? I mean,
right?
if they believed her, and then obviously it's going to happen because she's done the calculations.
Yeah, yeah.
And then let's say that happens, and then after she says, "Well, I actually didn't get a vision. I just calculated these things and read the signs and potents, and this is what happened."
This is what the sleeper
So I
told
mean,
me is
like,
gonna happen. Yeah,
right?
but would they have accepted it? Yeah, it
Would
would
they have
be
acted
interesting, right?
differently?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they would have found a
it's
way to
strange.
disprove her. They would have found a way to call her a
They would have
heretic.
tried.
Yeah,
I
they
think they
would
would have
have.
tried because it
And I
doesn't
think
fit
it
the
sounds
aesthetic they
like
want.
well, it looked like to me that at least her mom was going along to get along because she didn't want to
Trying to,
get
yeah.
what do you call it?
What was it,
Unalive.
like, excommunicated or unalived is how we're supposed
Unalived
to say it?
is how
Yeah,
we're supposed to say it. She didn't want to get unalived. And so I get that. Survival, right? But let's talk
of
about
her
what's real
dad.
at least inside our home. You know what I'm saying? But there was no place for her to talk about that. So anyway, she's patrolling with her team and they are going to the university because there's a light on in the university and they're stating that that building has been demolished and she comes upon an old friend of her parents who's in there trying to take some books or save some books from being destroyed
Mm-hmm.
because everything's going underwater and she's telling him to leave the books and go. They're just words on a page. She's trying to save him. She knows that if they catch
Yeah, because
him,
they're already on the way.
yeah. So her whole team is with her. They just went the opposite way when they got in the building. It's
Yep,
just she came upon him first, and he is like, "Listen, knowledge is gonna be here whether or not they accept it or not. And
exactly.
he says to her, all things have a cycle. Before destruction, after destruction is always rebirth, and the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge is what gives us the tools to survive the destruction. And like that sparks,
Yeah,
you see her face, like she's inspired by all this. She's even amazed by the amount of books that are in there. Like
but
she's
so
clearly
many. Oh man,
smart. Yeah, she's clearly smart, she's clearly engaged, she's definitely questioning what's going on around her. We've seen that already. So
do they
he
have written
challenges her.
language?
That was my other question. What happened? That's why I want to see more
Because
about
how
her
do y'all
world.
even know how to read these books if
Correct.
your culture completely has done away
How do
with
you disprove
any type of
something you
schooling
don't
like
know?
that?
Exactly. Because to disprove
It's
something, you got to
interesting.
know it, right? In my
Exactly.
opinion.
And how are you doing all these calculations and finding out exactly when the sea is rising and how fast it's rising? Where did you get the math from?
Right.
Like, I get you have a
So
genius mind, but you don't
he
just poof know
challenges
how to do
her.
things.
He challenges her to test her convictions against the math. And he tries to
Mm,
give her the triangular box that Harry later gives her when she goes to
yeah,
Streeling, um, of a copy of the conjecture that she ends up solving, or at least information on how to solve it.
hmm,
And she looks at it, she's tempted, but then she tells him, then she hears her team coming and she can't
yeah.
engage anymore. So she walks out the room and they take him into custody. And then she's forced to participate in his execution, which was heartbreaking because
Ugh.
why?
And they made her have a front
Why
row
are
seat.
children now murderers? Like she had to tie him up. She tied the books to him.
Technically,
They called her on
she's
it.
almost of age. I think that's why. I think that's
Okay.
why, because for them she's almost of age to be
Yeah.
seen as an adult.
Yeah, and we see that at this point in time she still has her prayer stones in her face. And we see her after this murder, really is what it is. That's really
Yeah,
sad.
that's exactly what it
Um
is.
they drop him to the bottom of the water. He dies. She is now convicted and she goes down there and she retrieves the books after
Yeah.
at nighttime when everybody's asleep, and she starts studying and she starts communicating with the other planets. Now, something I missed when we first started reviewing this, and when I rewatched it, I realized what happened. The Empire put out the math competition.
That is what I was about to ask.
Yeah,
Where did the competition even come from?
The Empire put it out as a way to find a mathematician that could compete or disprove Harry's
Or
theory.
disprove Selden.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they did
that makes sense.
he entered the contest, and then Harry ended up contacting her first as to embrace her solving of the Abraxas theory or conjecture, whatever problem that is.
Do you think he knew he was going to hear from her, maybe, or
I
hear
don't
from
know.
someone?
I don't know, and I have questions there too. Did his plan even include her at first? I think he definitely thought they would have someone challenge him. I don't know that he predicted her specifically, right? And I don't think his long-term plan ever included her as part of it.
So what it seems like.
Who she was and when she... So I think she's the original outlier.
Yeah. I think her
she's the
and
original outlier.
our girl on Terminus. They're the two big ones that are really going to affect
the original
things.
Outlier, which is a really interesting way to look at this now, because then anything can happen. They can skew the results, both of them. So
yeah, they have a lot of power to skew which way things are going to go.
Yep. So when I realized that I was like, oh my gosh, this changes my perspective on a lot of things, So the first thing she does when she gets message that she has successfully solved this is she thanks the sleeper. Because her whole prayer is, oh dear sleeper, help me find a way to save my planet. That was her whole prayer. And you know what? Who are they to say that the sleeper did not hear her? Which also points to when she went to the sleeper church to see that priest there, and he was like being salty with her, but then he was admiring her a little bit. I think he sees more in her than he was willing to divulge.
I think he also felt like he was challenged. Like that wasn't her goal, but
no,
he sees her as a threat to his current power, I think.
Yeah. So she's telling her family that the planet is dying. Her father then condemns her completely. Because the Seers are looking for her. And so she gets...
They just don't know that it's her.
She's like, no, she tells them. She tells them at that moment.
She tells them, but everyone else, they don't know that it's her.
I'm the one who solved it. They're looking for me. And here's why I did that, because this planet is dying and I'm looking for a way to help us. And they're like, yeah, whatever.
Like, y'all live on a planet full of water. Like, when we say full of water, y'all, this is like, think, damn it, what is the Caledon in the Dune series? The planet that Paul is from. That's a huge, big water world. That's the type of land, the type of planet that she lives on. So if the seas rise and a huge tsunami spins up, it has the potential to wipe out every living thing on that planet. So yeah, if the seas are rising, you need to prepare for that, because there's not running. You don't have anywhere to run. Like all their houses, everything is built on the water.
Yep. Well, with her father's condemnation of her, she's like, all right, fine, I'm done.
You'd be better off dead.
Yeah, he basically says, you're dead to me. And she's like, cool.
And like, even his wife was like,
exactly. But wife was low-key proud of her daughter. And when she comes home with her prayer stones removed, because she's like, I cannot buy into this anymore. This is crazy. I clearly have to go and live my own life. So she removes herself from the situation. And
You're on the
then
right
she's
path there,
like,
Chris.
yeah, she's like, you know what? I'm gone. So she leaves Trantor upon the
Mm-hmm.
invitation. Oh, and remember in Harry's message to her when he was like, I'm proud of the fact that you should be very proud of yourself. You've solved this. Your solution is
Mm-hmm.
elegant, and I would like for you to come and walk my students through how you went through
Mm-hmm.
solutioning and solving this. I know you're going to be invited through official channels shortly. So official channels was the Empire,
Uh-huh.
right? But he's
Official
like,
channels was the Empire, so
but
Harry
I'd
had
like
to
for
get.
you, but I'd like for you to accept my invitation first.
Wait. Yeah, she got that invitation from the guys that she had paid to send the message originally, right? So
Yes.
yeah, kudos to Harry because he was like
For
he
knowing
already
what
peeped
channels to
game.
use, his
Yeah,
back
he
channel.
already peeped
He
game. He said,
did.
"Here, you
He
know what?
peeped
Thank you
game. He
for
was like,
bringing this.
oh,
Give her this back."
exactly.
Dude was
Yes.
scheming from day one, and I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool how he went about
Mm-hmm.
that. Harry clearly had his ear to the ground with everything, even the
Oh,
movements of Empire against him. So, he
he
was
saw
he
all
was
of that.
clearly watching. So I wonder what else he
Yep.
knew and planned for, which also brings me to who
We
really
find
asked
out.
those people to blow up them things? Because now
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at Harry kind of side eye, like, did you start this whole thing
A
off?
little bit sus.
Yeah, a little
It's a
bit.
little bit sus. And
So
it
yeah.
comes around to bite them in the ass. I mean, by the time we get there, Harry's gone. But
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
it gets
exactly.
all of that comes back, and maybe that wasn't the best way to go to do that, Harry, to kick that off. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So we see her, go onto the pod and we flash back to the present where where we left off in the last episode was her pod was floating towards this
Mm-hmm.
unknown vessel. It goes onto the vessel. Her pod wakes her up. All that crap that was in it kind of drains out. She wakes up in a panic because she's still in the moment where she saw Raish kill Harry and push her into the pod and tell
Mm-hmm.
her to count primes, and she didn't know what the heck was going on. So she's still like in a panic. She gets up. She's like, who's
Yeah.
here? Anybody's here? She's trying to get into the ship. She's in the docking bay. She can breathe in there, but she's so panicked because she doesn't know what's happening. She doesn't know
Mm-hmm.
how many years have gone by, none of it. She has the knife that killed Harry in her hand, and his blood from the knife
Still with his blood.
somehow triggers the door to open. And you hear the
Yep.
machine say, activating Raish Voss arrival protocol. So that tells
Oh,
us that
that
the ship was
I just put
expecting
something together
Raish to come there. So this
to be
whole
there.
plan did not include her coming there. So when she came into the plan, in my opinion, when she came into the picture as this outlier, Harry
That ship was already in production.
factored in her in as okay, now she can just be part of the foundation and go to
Mm-hmm.
Terminus and help them out. And since she's smart as me, she'll be a good guide for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he was grooming her to like take over his spot, go to the meeting. It's just math. You can lend your math
See,
skills,
I want
etc.
your thought on something.
Go ahead.
So within that, because we know it seems like Harry's blood is what opened that door. So
Hmm.
I think he was planning on also being in there, and I feel like because she is an outlier,
Hmm.
um, something had to change in the plan. So do you think we got the Snape situation, the Snape and Dumbledore situation that we're coming up on because of her coming in, making herself known, and coming in, and him having to bring her into the foundation? Because I
Um,
think if that was supposed to happen, they would have planned better for it.
exactly. Well, I think what also happened is her and Raish got involved, which
That's
further
true, and
skewed their plan. And he
he didn't think
realized,
about
I
that.
don't
Yeah,
think he originally was going to die. But when
yeah, I
he
don't think so
saw
either.
that Raish and her were involved, he didn't think that Raish was going to leave her voluntarily. So to force Raish having to leave, this is the extreme that he wanted to go
He
to.
had to give him a reason to leave, but
Correct.
why did that have to be the reason, though?
I know.
Could we really not have done anything else? And we're kind of future talking. That's why we're being a bit vague here, guys. So we'll continue with the outline.
Yeah, but in addition to that, though, when it initiates this protocol, she's not able to do anything on this ship except ask some very vague, like, outlier questions that
which is what let me know she wasn't part of the plan.
Command for. So it doesn't even know her. It knows that she's the only life form on the ship, though, and it knows that from probably reading her pod how long she's been in it, and apparently she's been in it for almost.
She's been in there for
34 years and 230 days.
Years.
I would have
by
lost
herself.
My shit.
That was a really big ship. Like, how do you even comprehend that? The last thing you knew is your bae killed the guy that was in charge and shoved you into this pod.
Right.
And now no one's here.
And then
so what was the original plan, and why did Sowick think that he had to change it that much?
Yeah, and I'm going to continue with the ship for a second before we go to Terminus.
There's some interesting things there.
In addition to that, in the flashback from the killing of Harry, we see Raish take something from behind Harry's ear.
Yeah.
Right? And it was we find out later what it is, and I'm not going to say right now.
We'll wait for that.
But that was also thrown into her pod, apparently. So all of that was captured in the knife. I
don't think she's found it yet.
No. So
was it in with the knife?
It had to be for him to appear at the end, because the body.
That's right.
So on the ship, like, we see that she's going through the motions now, so she has to, like, figure out where she is. She asked the machine to pull up Raish Voss, and then she's like, it pulls up Raish Voss and when he died. So she asked it to pull up his trial. She sees when they were interviewing him about why he killed Harry and was she an accomplice. So this is what they believe. The people in the Foundation believe that she was an accomplice to his death. And he doesn't really answer their questions. He's like, no matter what happened, please don't give up on the plan. You can still execute the plan. And he does this looking at the camera. He's not talking to them. He's talking to Gail.
He's talking to her. He's absolutely talking to you.
Yep. And so she's devastated, because then she sees his execution. And they push him out of an airlock without a suit. Which is cruel. Like,
I mean, it's cruel,
couldn't have disintegrated him like they disintegrate Empire. I'm just saying.
I mean, because space is so cold, though, he's gonna freeze like that. So I don't think he's actually gonna feel it too much. He's not gonna suffer a whole lot, but that's still harsh. Man.
And then she picks up a scalpel and she goes in the shower, and I was like, "What the hell is happening?" And I'm like, no, this can't end like.
I was nervous. I was nervous for a bit.
I think she was gonna commit suicide. And let me tell you,
I think so too.
How the universe was like, "Oh no, my friend," and it gave her a 180. It gave her a literal 180. Why does the ship all of a sudden give up gravity and homegirl flips literally in a 180? She had a physical and mental 180. I thought that was great filming, by the way.
And that is why I always have to call Selwig's am I saying that right? Is it Selwig? What is his last name?
Who?
Harry Seldon.
Harry Seldon.
That's what it is. Yeah, Seldon. I always have to call in his thought pattern, because there had to have been a reason that it saved her. Pretty much is what happened. Yeah. Like the computer read the thought pattern that she was going down and was like, nope, it's not going to let her take charge or make any big demands. But no, you're also not allowed to off yourself.
His consciousness was already being downloaded into the machine.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah.
So she puts
I have
on
plans
her.
And you need to follow them.
Yeah, she puts on her suit. She comes out. She starts investigating what's going on with the ship. And all of a sudden...
Wait. Before she puts on the suit, she's trying to figure out where exactly the ship is taking her.
Oh,
and
correct. Yeah.
The ship won't tell her exactly what's happening. So because
math.
she's freaking brilliant, she does the math and figures out, okay, I'm in this sector, but I can't see what's going on. Is this a real window or is it a view screen? It's a view screen.
You're gonna tell me what I need, you dumb ship. I'm gonna trick you.
Right.
I'm gonna find out where I am.
And boy, did she.
I love that because that shows that she hasn't lost her sense of humor. She's still our
Not at all. Absolutely. She is the outlier.
Yes.
Facts.
So it's headed apparently to a dark star, a planet called Helicon, which turns out to be Harry's home world, which we don't know anything about. And that's also a part of the story that's missing for me.
And why
I'm like, who is Harry? What is he? Tell me more about Harry.
Where did he come from?
I want to know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, as she comes back in, she has to go out of the ship to see the actual area she's in because the ship is giving her like this faux window. So she goes outside in a spacesuit to actually figure out where she is, and she does. She knows it's Helicon. She comes back in, and all of a sudden she sees puddles of blood on the floor, and she follows the blood, and all of a sudden there's a body of Harry in ghost phasing in and out on the floor. So
I saw that blood. I said, wait a minute, hold on. I thought we were alone.
I know.
You don't talk about a horror movie situation.
And so that part on the ship ends for us. That they leave us on a cliff with that one.
They leave us on that cliffhanger.
Yep. And so then on Terminus, we get back to Salvor and what's happening with her and the Anacreans. Remember, they're at the gates. So we know that they were cloaking a device that they had placed on the planet. And she was like, why are they not her? Hugo was like, why are they cloaking it from us? We can see it. We already know it's there. And Salvor is like, they're not cloaking it from us.
It's not about them.
Yep. You know, and then all of a sudden an Empire's ship comes into orbit and they get excited and they're like, yay, because they're like shooting at the gate.
Stupid idiot.
And Mr. Pyrene is all in his glory now. I knew the Empire wouldn't let us down.
And you see the chick smile, and I'm like, why did you say that out loud, you dumbass?
It's the audacity of caucasity, I'm telling you. It even happens in the future.
I mean, he was already on that route because last time we saw this dude, he was looking at Salvo like, "What? Do you think you're special that it's talking to you,
You're not
bitch?"
special.
Yes, actually, she is very special.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, idiot.
One. It's funny. He redeems himself before the end. Let me just say that.
Almost.
Almost. Yeah. Oh, you saw it already. Yeah. Good. So the Imperial ships jumps in and the Anacreans celebrate, and then the Empire commander contacts Louis Pyrene on the ground and he asks to speak to Salvor. Salvor tells him, listen, this is what's happening. These guys attacked us. We don't know what they want. And she starts to tell him, don't bring the prisoner to the tower, and they cut her off. They block their communication so she can't tell them that would be a mistake.
She got that last word out though.
She did, and he didn't take heed.
But he didn't listen.
Pyrene convinces him that yes, sir, yes. No matter whatever you say, I will bring her to the tower so you can talk to her. You can lay eyes on her yourself. They bring her to the tower. Homegirl removes her eye and blows everything up and takes down the fence. So now all of her soldiers start taking over the town.
You know what's key there, though?
What?
Before she does it, she looks at him. She says, you should have listened to your warden.
You should have listened to your warden. She's the only one who got anything.
And also, kudos to her, because even though, yes, she's a villain, I feel her. She's kind of she's on the same track as Killmonger.
Game. She respects.
Yeah.
She respects the people who can peep it.
Exactly. And that's why, honestly, like, even though there was so much friction between her and Salvo, you can absolutely see they have respect for each other. And I
If they
appreciate
were on
that.
the same side, they would be a
If
good force. That would be
if
nice.
the whole galaxy is getting
If
wiped.
only. I know.
If you add Gale to that team, yeah, it's over.
Oh my
the Empire
goodness.
is done.
Yeah.
The Empire will be done.
Except Gale needs to grow up a little bit for me. At this point in time.
A little bit.
There's
She's still a little too naive.
Timid and naive.
A little too naive still.
But that's nature versus nurture, really, because the fight is in her. And it's just nature-wise, they have held her back too long in her life. See, this is what we do when we hold our children back. They get arrested development. This is proof.
Yeah. and this is why you don't hold their hands walking through everything. You can give them the advice, but if they're gonna fall, you gotta let them fall so they know how to deal with it.
And learn from it. Yeah, there's always a lesson. There's a lesson in the falling. Yep. My whole thing is you don't fall and stay there. You fall forward. You fall, you take that knowledge and you use it to move yourself forward next time. That's it.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Anyway, that's the lesson for today.
So anyway. That was our PSA for the day, y'all.
Exactly.
I love that we're always on the same page.
Yes. So Farrah and Salvor get into a little fight. Farrah and her people take them down because Salvor now realizes what's happening. She comes back to the tower.
Yeah.
She knows her mom is in danger. She tries to help, but they end up being successful in not only taking down the fence and overpowering the Foundation
but bringing
soldiers,
down the damn ship.
They bring down the ship. They shoot that ship out the sky because they want the Imperial commander, and we're gonna find out why in the next episode. That's how the episode ends with Farrah punching Salvor in the face. They're on the roof, and she gets to see when they shoot down the ship, and she's smiling at her like, "Ha ha ha! Got what I wanted anyway. You tried it, but you lost." Big nene.
I'm a fan of hers.
Right?
I'm a fan of hers, man.
Yo, for real though, somebody killed my little brother in front of me and destroyed half my planet. I might be.
I'm coming for your throat, and if this is what I have to do to get your attention, sorry.
Yep. All right, so
you know what it is? I think because the mindset, what I'm gathering from the mindset that she is in, not everyone knew what the plan was. So like what you said earlier about like who actually set up those bombings that really kickstarted everything, that makes sense because obviously they're not going to let the regular people know what was going on. Right. So there would be select people that, if they survive, there's a great amount of animosity and anger because of things that happen, and you didn't account for that. I mean, it's highly possible, honestly, that she could also be an outlier because she's been thinking out the box to come up with this plan that she did, and it worked every step of the way. Yeah. So I'm putting a pin in her character and keeping an eye on what might happen.
Yep. All right.
So how would you rate that episode?
Episode 5? Episode 5 was like pickup of action, right? And action in the present day, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, finally things are coming together because episode 3 and 4, we kind of didn't know where the hell is Gale. They didn't show us.
We were just getting information.
Where is she? Yep. Like, and then at the end, we saw her is sleeping in the thing going towards the ship. Like at the very end, because the whole episode, you're like, all right, but where did Gale go though?
But where's Gale?
Where Gale go though? Because that is the voice you guys started us off with. So I'm gonna give episode 5 a good 8.5. 8.5. Yeah. Bordering on 9, just for the niceness of Salvor and just that dynamic between her and Farrah.
It's a good dynamic.
3 though, because he's an idiot for just being a follower.
I give
and also, he thinks he's more than he is. He's like, I knew the Foundation
that part,
and I'm sure that Harry did too. You can't speak for Harry, sir. Harry didn't think you were smart enough to be a leader.
Otherwise, you would
exactly.
If he thought you would have been a leader, right? He would have told you that's your job, but you didn't get that job. because he knew you are not up to task.
Exactly.
Seriously, it's a bit absurd. Hey,
How
Luna,
about you? What did you name this?
I'm going to second the 8.5. I liked it. You know, we got while we did get more information about what was happening, we had some action and things moved forward at a decent pace, I think. So, and now we're smoothly sliding into episode 6. And I'm here for all of these things that were happening. I really enjoyed this episode.
Episode 6 gotta be one of my favorites. This one and 7.
So far, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So episode 6, we are Death and the Maiden is what it's called. We are on the jump ship.
You're absolutely correct,
Conclave. Luna. Oh, hello. We have people watching. I thought it was too early for that.
It's a couple people in here, and there's a few people that have been lurking, just not chatting. I appreciate you lurkers too. Thank you for being here.
Okay. So Death on a Conclave. Empire Day is awakened by the ship's workers. They are spacers. They are so pretty. These spacers. I'm like, they just look like angels. They do.
Very.
Want to hear their story too, by the way.
There's so many side quests that we could go on here.
There's something about them that also makes me think about Damerzel for some reason, and it's probably because of the cyber tech, because we know she's a robot, right? So I wonder how similar to them she is. So, or if they're an evolution of her, or offshoot of her,
are they the next step?
You know, were they first and then she was second? Like, what was that? Something to think about. Who knows where they'll go?
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Empire Day is awakened. He's like, he seems kind of off when they awaken him, almost like, you know, shaken, like he don't feel so good. He goes to Damerzel's room to watch her get ready, and she recalls how he used to do that when he was a little boy. I remember we saw that in the first couple episodes. And he's watching her. He's watching all her stuff in her room, and he has a conversation with her. She then goes ahead. They sit down to eat, and she goes ahead and starts questioning him about the planet they're about to go to. So he's back. You know, she brings him up to speed again on where they're going and who these people are. We learn that it's the only habitable planet is the Maiden, but there were 2 others, the Mother and the Crone, and they are called the Cycle of Luminism is what they're called. They have 3 moons and 3 billion believers. I love this theme of 3s. It's all in 3s. You notice?
Always 3s. Yeah.
Almost mirroring Christianity with Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
That's what I was about to say.
Nothing is new in the world.
Yeah, nothing's new. It's always just copied and refurbished.
Copies of the old good old foundations, you know.
the hive mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, spacers do have hive mind. That's what they said. That's why it was also, well, if y'all saw season 2, y'all know. Anyway, moving forward. I'm sorry. She just clicked something for me.
No need to apologize at all.
So he asks how she believes, because she's apparently a believer of luminism, Damerzel. And she says how or why, which is an interesting question for any person believing in anything.
But especially for her.
She says it's because of her search for meaning in her existence, which isn't that it for everybody? Not just maybe an AI robot? I mean, just
that's what I was saying last time. This woman she's not just a robot, man. There's a level of sentience there, and I don't think anyone is seeing that.
And I don't understand why. Because she's been alive. She's seen so much. So I'm not surprised. Because
she was there when the original Empire was there. She was there for that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's been eons. That this woman has been alive.
There before Cleon the First was born. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Crazy.
That is a lot of memories to have to filter through. A lot of memory, a lot of
time, a lot of humanity.
A lot of loss.
A lot of loss. Which I'm surprised.
Like she said, it's just that you keep leaving me.
But That's also
Yeah,
our opinion.
how do you survive that and
You've
keep your
got to
mind?
cross over into
Oof.
my madness at some point. There's no
You would
way.
think. Like, are there
Yeah.
some years that they had to shut her down and just like lock her in a room for a bit until she corrected the malfunctions that were going on? Because yeah, I cannot see how any person that experiences emotions on a human level like she does, and
Yeah.
they are not affected at all and can just go on and keep moving. Like, it's oof. It's scary,
Yeah.
honestly, to think about the life that
It
she's
is
had to
very
live.
scary. It is very scary because who wants to live forever? I
Exactly.
would
Yeah, I
not.
don't.
To watch
Nope,
friends and
not at
family and
all.
children and go and wow.
I
Anyway.
always say, I might have a fun experience being a vampire, but no, after a while, I think I would just walk out into the sun and
Just
I'm out.
stake me now.
Like, I'm done. And yes, Luna, I agree. I also had that, because Thrones bleeds into everything.
Yes.
Mother, maiden, and crone is, 3 aspects of the 7. So
Yes.
yeah, she's very much that. She embodies all of them, actually.
Yes,
Like we said
actually, she
earlier.
does. She embodies them for
She is
the
all of them.
Cleons. For the
Yeah.
Cleons. All at each stage.
Mm-hmm.
So she states that he poses this question and is to serve Empire. She says her purpose is he says, isn't your purpose to serve Empire? And she says, yes, that is her code.
That's one of them.
But she's like, but she also knows that the goddess did not choose to be split into 3. They wish to be one again. And
Mm-hmm.
this thing of being whole for her, this is the second time I think that
It's
we
that
hear
she's
her
brought that
mention
up.
it. Yeah. So I really want to know about
I
her
want her
and
backstory.
her
I really want
kind
that side
her
quest story.
especially. Her
Yes.
especially. And then if they can pepper in what's going on with the spacers, that'd be nice.
Please and thank you.
Please and
If
thank you.
y'all are watching, please and thank you.
Yes. So let's see. Interesting. She said Luminism mirrors the imperial rule is what I wrote down with the 3 women
Yeah.
and then the 3 for the dynasty for the empire. Demerzel wants to stay on the ship when they land, and he told her, "No, you're my only ally. You're coming with me. You don't have a choice,
Mm.
and your job is to
And
serve
how
Empire.
interesting it
So
is
come and
that he
serve."
feels like that.
Yeah.
A whole ship full of guards and people to attend him, and he says,
Well,
"You're my only one."
yeah, he doesn't trust anyone. She's been
Doesn't
mother,
trust anyone
lover,
but
and
her. He doesn't
friend,
even
right?
trust his brothers. Yeah.
No, he does
He
not.
doesn't even trust his brothers.
Do you notice there's a constant competition between each one of them? How are they
Between
supposed
day
to
and
be a
dusk.
Yes, Day and
Yeah.
Dusk and him though. He is always against Day and Dusk and then Dusk and Dawn for
Dawn.
some
Yeah.
reason. There's a father-son
Heavy.
thing going on between Dawn and Day, but Day and Dawn, I don't understand.
It's becoming more and more like oil and water.
Yeah, Day and Dusk,
Like, they
sorry.
are
Just saying
not,
I don't
the
understand.
gel is not there
Whew,
anymore. They are not
it
a
is
cohesive
harsh.
unit at all.
Yeah. So anyway, he tells Demerzel she's
Yeah.
coming with him. She goes with him. So they get to the door, and before it opens, he goes, "Are you ready to greet the masses?" Like he's so happy he's about to be praised and worshipped. And
This part was so
I
funny.
crack up when his little face cracks, and there's nobody there but one person.
There's only one person.
Enter
Also,
my new favorite character.
the petty of it all.
She's so petty in the
I
most
love her.
intelligent and right way.
And
I
successful
love
way. I love
her.
her so
Let me
much.
tell you, if
Yes.
ever I go bald, I hope I'm that chiseled to pull it off.
That.
Okay.
The cut of her jaw,
Because
the fade was fading.
Zephyr Halima. Hello, girl. I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
the cheekbones kind of low key, but I don't know if I could
You
pull
do.
off the rest of it.
Don't say no low key nothing. No, it's there. Y'all type in the comments when you watch this later, okay? Tell the woman she look good, okay?
Hilarious. Anyway, she comes out there, she greets him alone. She tells him that she petitioned, and because of the somber occasion of a funeral, she
The
didn't think
somber
that the
occasion.
spectacle of a crowd would be a good idea.
The
Because we have to
spectacle.
the spectacle. The way she picks her words, my God, today.
Basically saying, bitch, we didn't want to give you no fanfare because we really don't give
Exactly.
a fuck.
In those, yeah, thank you for bringing it down for the people in the building.
In the
Thank you.
nicest way possible. Yeah, Luna, I think you're correct there. Like, this is very much like, for shout out to all my Star Trek fans, this is very much like Data when he was trying to figure out, emotions and how to handle them and what certain words mean and how he is supposed to act around that. So it's very interesting watching her journey, and I'm really hoping they give us a lot more about it. Yeah, clones, but night psychologically.
I think it's also gonna rip our hearts out when we really find out Damerzel's story.
I think it will,
because I
and
think
that
we're gonna really feel for her. But I when you're she's programmed to be their servant, and ooh, and yeah,
but,
she does put him in his place. I
you can see the note where she's sick of him. Like, look here, little boy.
Well, the first note where she was sick of him, when he was like, "You gave me an empire rent of destruction," or something like that. And the way he went off on Dusk and dismissed Dusk after Dusk left, she looked at him and she goes, "Well, I guess now we won't have an empire rent of whatever once you're done with it."
Once you're done. Right. What was that you were just accusing people of doing? And now
you are now doing it yourself. Hilarious.
I love how she calls him out all the time. I really do.
She really does. Anyway, Zephyr Halima then offers Brother Day a salt water, which he refuses to drink. She tells him that the water is from the maiden and it removes impurities.
Impurities. The look that he gave her.
Like
he's trying to still be diplomatic, but you can see in his eyes, like, bitch, what the fuck you mean impurities? Do you know who you're speaking to? Do you know who I am?
He looks at her like, the gall of you.
How
dare you speak to me in such a manner? I have never. Oh my gosh. I got my life on this episode.
It's one of the reasons I love this episode.
I was like, oh no. And then he refuses. And then Damerzel interjects to try and keep the peace and smooth things out. She says to her that, Empire cannot eat anything or, that hasn't been originally consume anything that hasn't been approved of his people beforehand. Yeah. So, as a way to be like, so sorry, not to be offensive, but however,
that was basically
however, yes. So
our mother of the realm, hello.
My girl turns around and all of her flowing robes behind her, fanning her away as she walks away from him. And he looks at Damerzel and he goes, somehow, I don't think she goes, oh, she meant it with the best of intentions, Damerzel, to him. And he goes, I doubt that anyone who weaseled their way onto my welcome committee meant anything with the best of intentions.
Sir, like you didn't even catch the read though.
Nope.
Like, she literally just read you for filth, and you're so wrapped up in your own bullshit, in your nonsense, that you're not trying to catch the lesson she's been trying to give you this whole episode.
Not even.
Not at all.
You don't know yet, though. He finds out a little bit later. So we're gonna stick with them. Sorry, I had to plug in my computer; it was dying.
Yes, don't let it die.
I can't do that.
Not while we're streaming.
We're almost there. So, do we want to stay on the maiden?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and finish this out, and then we'll jump back to Terminus.
The next day or later that day, I can't tell which, they're in the conclave, and so he meets Zephyr Galat. He's talking with Zephyr Galat, and she's very much a politician. She has her little lackey there, also helping her along. And this gave me all the Trump and his cabinet vibes. Let me tell you.
That part. Every last bit of that scene.
This is how politics is done for real. This is just a base level of it. Because
they were like, spittles coming in talking their nonsense.
Yes, because he's trying to gauge like what kind of support she needs to push her over the edge, and they go ahead and tell him, if there was something we could offer to people, maybe we could sway a few more votes our way. We're doing okay, but just to be safe, like we would need.
Like we could do better though.
We could do better. Like this area needs some water. Like we have a, like making a suggestion, not a suggestion.
Like, here's how you bribe my people without me telling you to bribe my people.
If you could do a super PAC for us and get that water here.
Right.
That could help us sway some more votes in our direction.
There's so many good moments in this episode.
It was awesome. So he immediately picks up what they were putting down and was like, oh, toast to Zephyr Galat, who has now secured a water filtration system for this area.
A whole ass system for the whole planet. Y'all, think on that level for the whole planet.
Wild.
People have been going thirsty because they cannot purify the water quickly or well enough. And now he just comes in 2 seconds. Oh, here, we just make some of these changes and build some of these machines. And we got y'all.
You're fine.
So and you're right, Luna. Money can't buy everything.
No,
but they're gonna damn sure try. The Empire will try.
They tried it, but then at the funeral, when Zephyr Galat is giving her big speech and saying how this water filtration system's gonna be ours and we're gonna be able to do greatness in the name of the Zephyr
Empire.
Yes, in the name of the Zephyr that had just died, and we are grateful to Gracious Empire for this. Here comes Zephyr Halima walking up the steps in all her grandeur and presence, and of course her supporters are like, oh yay, she's gonna speak too, fabulous. Totally silence Zephyr Galat. Oh my
God. Shade of it all. That's what I should have made my name for this stream.
Prayer.
The shade of it all.
She talks about the gift of rebirth and our capacity for growth and change. And this part, she says the soul changes with the galaxy. Transformation. Souls are endless. Never-ending quest for holiness is what we're striving for. And the mother, it would embrace that. And we should not be souls that are stagnated with one way of thinking. That we should be open to growth. What? That's a deviation from their current luminism. And then she praises and says, never-ending quest for holiness. Everybody says praise whatever, and they go down on their knees. And why does Damrozelle cannot help herself and bows as well? And the betrayal.
And he looks at her like
he says, "Et tu, Brute? Et tu?"
Like, you too, Brutus. Damn it. Yo, I laughed so hard when I saw that. And look, the way these two women keep checking his ass throughout this whole episode, and he don't even know what to do with himself.
But the messed up thing about him is when his back is to the wall, he gets more ruthless. So I'm scared for them.
Yeah. There is that. I expect that there will be a slight bit of kickback and retaliation, yes. But that, because of his personality, I feel like it's just going to make the whole situation worse. Like, I'm really waiting for the time.
Because
I'm waiting for the time that
what he does anyway.
Yeah. And you're right, Luna. Trump vibes. This whole thing, all the way. I'm waiting for when she says, you know what? Fuck y'all. And she rolls out. And I'm thinking she'll probably head to Terminus because she's appraised on what's going on all over the galaxy. And she's been keeping an eye on that situation.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that she leaves Empire and all of his bullshit at some point in time in the future.
I'm hoping. But anyway, that's where we end up with the conclave, with him feeling hella betrayed by Demerzel for bending the knee.
Hilarious. This is, again, that woman is trying to tell you to get your shit correct. Pay attention to what's actually happening.
Like, you gotta believe in something, son. That's basically what you're trying to teach him. You gotta believe.
And the something that you believe in is not supposed to be you the way you're doing it. You can have confidence. That's fine. Yep. But the fuck shit that you're doing, that's not helping nobody, bro. That's not helping nobody. She's trying to get you to see. She's trying to teach you. Okay?
Yep.
Learn the lesson.
Right. So where do we want to go? There's we got two short Terminus. Okay, so two short pieces with Terminus and Trantor. So let's go Terminus first. On Terminus, the Anacreans have successfully brought down the ship, and they got their man. He survives the crash. They got him. They captured a captain, and then they have Salvor and her mother in custody. And Salvor, they have her separate in a room, and we see poor Polly is just out there. He has a cut on his head, and his little girlfriend finds him. I don't even know her name. I need her name.
I don't remember her name either. I lost my notes. I don't know where my notes went. I wrote it down, but I don't remember.
She's a little tomboy to the max. Like, she reminds me of me when I was little, because that's how
I'm saying, because you know how we both were running around Brooklyn. We didn't care about nobody's trees. We in them.
So she was like, all right, let's go. Like, she saves him. She brings him in some kind of like air shaft area. And there's, she's like, don't worry, it'll make a good scar for good tales later. And he's like, oh no. And poor Polly is such a gentle soul. Like, I didn't realize how gentle he was until this episode. And I was like, oh my goodness, this poor kid.
Oh, you baby boo, please don't die.
Yes. So they go through and they hear the guards talking where Salvor is, and they hear Farah talking, and they hear some of the language, and they're able to understand some of it. So they wait until it's quiet, and then there's only one guard left with Salvor, and they go in there, and that little girl got some rage in her, because she beat that person to death. Polly was the distractor. She
did what she had to do.
And she went in there, and she did what needed to be done.
She did what she had to do.
Shout out to Meeks. She did what had to be done. Okay.
Also, I'm pretty sure Meeks is covering Foundation. So y'all should go check her out. Link down below.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she is.
Okay. So she knocks the guard out. They start Salvor's knocked out. So they pull her through the air shaft. And they're pulling her out, and all of a sudden she's like, "Ow!" Because she wakes up. They're pulling her.
Yeah,
her
she wakes up
on rocks. And I'm like,
what a poor kid's like, look.
She's like, "Ow!"
They didn't know how to do it like correctly.
Listen,
but they knew was like, "Yo, that's our girl, and we gotta go save her."
Exactly.
And they did that.
So they get her out, and as they're exiting, somebody's like, stop moving, and it's actually Salvor's dad and
it's,
Hugo.
Her dad,
So they were like,
her dad and her boyfriend, right?
Yeah, and Hugo.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, so we have to do something. They're not getting off this planet. We're gonna mess up their ships. They tell the kids, you can't come with us. Your blood can't be on our hands. They curbed them. They tell them to hide in the shaft. Go ahead.
I have a thought on that because
go ahead.
Salvo, I understand. You're trying to protect
they just saved you.
First of all, ma'am, you were just knocked out and unconscious.
Exactly.
These two kids just gathered all of their moxie. They harnessed all of the chi, and they came and rescued your ass. Yep. You have 3 people Total. You, your dad, and your mans. I think you need as much help as you can get. They've already proven that they can be up to task if you need them to be. So utilize the skills. They don't want to go home and hide. No, they're here to help.
Yes.
I think that was a bad move on her part.
Yeah, I think that because she could have used them. But given what happened, who knows what that would have turned out to be.
I don't think those kids would have cared that much, honestly. They're fighting for their home at this
especially homegirl.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
She about it. She about that life. She about that life.
She was a little Farrah in the making.
Yep. Okay? And I'm here for it. I support it.
For that too. So they go off to try and do this. And as they're going off, Salvor has a vision of Raish and Harry. And she sees the whole scene. And it's messed up because in her vision, she is Gale.
Yeah.
In
and
her
she doesn't
vision,
know that's what's happening.
Gale. She doesn't know what's happening. She sees Harry get stabbed by Raish. She comes in and she sees that she gets put into the pod.
Yeah. When Raish pushes her out.
Yeah, but we get a little bit more of the conversation between Harry and Raish right before Raish stabs him.
This is the Dumbledore and Snape situation.
But you saw how much they loved each other, though.
Yeah,
I didn't know
true
that
father and son.
True father
and that is
son.
why that is why I wonder how much did Harry see into the future, because they played it perfectly. I thought for sure they were arguing, and Raish really did have a problem with what was happening. But then we get to this scene,
that is exactly
and the whole shit was planned. Like, and that's why for anybody that didn't watch Harry Potter, I'm calling it the Dumbledore and Snape situation, because Dumbledore dying in that scene, that was planned.
Yeah.
So this is that exact same situation. Harry saw that Raish was not about to leave Gale behind in any way, shape, or form.
And then he tells him that.
So he had to account for that. Yeah. He had to account for that.
I could have done it if I get called out like that, though. I would have been like, "You're right. I love her. I want a life with her. I'm going with her." Like, I don't
understand why. I don't understand why Harry thought that this was the only
way
means that he could go, though, because obviously Gale is going to be an asset to whatever team she is on, and I think that's already been a proven fact. So, Harry, why couldn't you just tweak something else and y'all just ran away? I mean, that ship that she woke up on, that ship is pretty big. It's sizable. There should be a full crew there. So,
but I feel like there was probably a different purpose for that ship, though.
Okay,
what I think.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, let me see what Luna's saying here. Adults in their need to protect. They often underestimate children's strength. Very true. Very true.
Agreed.
You're
That's
right.
exactly what it is. And sometimes you end up underestimating your kids' abilities and capacity for taking things on.
And then you have to account for that, because it will cause a problem later. So, you know, that's another PSA. Okay, trust your kids.
Trust your kids.
Okay. Be secure in their abilities. If they tell you they can do something, chances are they probably can.
And side note, I just had a conversation with another mommy friend last night at the exhibition. The band exhibition I was at for my son, and she said the same thing.
How'd that go?
Like, very good. They did so well. Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Yeah, they got first place last week.
Oh yeah.
And we actually put on the exhibition this week, so they were good. Yeah, but your boy was very happy. His head was very big.
I love it. I'll tell him I said congrats.
I will. But you got to be careful with these new kids, because these new kids are brave.
Yeah, they different.
They are bold. They have 0 F's to give, as they say.
None. They have less fucks to give than we do.
And I actually respect it in some regards, because
when they come correct,
they are bolder than we were, and their sense.
Yes.
The ones that have a really strong sense of right and wrong, we are not going to be able to mess with them in a few years.
Especially when it comes to their friends. And family is family, yes, but I'm specifically saying to their friends, because there's a lot of shit going on in the world today. And when it comes to our younger generation, I think everyone just like exempts them a lot. And there are some brave fucking kids out here, just to use myself as an example, coming out in high school. Fuck no. That was never going to happen. I didn't do that till I was secure enough in my early 20s to do
It's
that. But
not
there are
even a
kids in
thing
high
now.
school. Yeah, exactly. There are kids that figured their
no,
shit out in
you're
high
like,
school and they said, fuck y'all,
and
I'm going
you
to do
know,
me. This is who I am. Right? And they have
and let
kids.
someone question them. Check me, boo. Who gonna check me, boo? Like that,
I mean,
they have that
if you want to come at me, you can, but you're not just facing me. There's 30 of my friends that have my back. And if you really want to come up against this army, go ahead. And that is the mindset that a lot of these kids have, and I love seeing that. I love seeing that in all aspects. I'm not just talking about like being gay, but in every aspect of life. They're looking at this shit like, y'all adults is fucking up. Like we not on that bullshit. Y'all can go over there with that.
And like what you said, and the moral compass of it all is great to watch.
The children are the future, and I love where the children's head is.
Yeah,
yes,
I have hope.
The kids gonna be all right, as they say.
It's gonna be all right.
They're gonna be all right.
All right. So lastly, after they go off and they try to,
all those skills come out.
Yeah. So they actually have this conversation, and I was kind of mad. It felt rushed. The conversation between Salvor and her dad.
A little bit
about that was so rushed. They stuck it into the middle of so much action, and honestly, maybe if they had another space for episode, they could have worked that out more. But I appreciate that they fit it in.
That they did it at least. I get why it had to be rushed though.
We've had other things where you're like, why is this?
Yeah.
He actually reveals that he didn't believe in frickin' Harry Seldon. He believed in the girl that he wanted to sleep with.
He was like, look, your mama was foxy and I was in love. And she looked at him, but she looked at him like, you joined the foundation for a girl? And when I tell you, cuz I had to pause the damn episode because I fell out of my chair laughing. Because you know what? I understand exactly where that man's head was at. You will do some ridiculous seeming shit to everybody else. Not to you. It's not ridiculous to you, but you will do some ridiculous shit for pussy.
Listen.
And I'm sorry to put it that way. I know people gonna think that I'm crass as hell, but that's just when we break it down.
I don't know.
It is what it is. I'm just saying, I understood exactly where the fuck his head was at.
I was like, wow. Okay, sir.
Like, yes, I joined because of a girl. You damn right. And I guarantee you, he is not the only character in this story that has done something like that.
Exactly.
He won't be the last.
He joined the foundation for her mama. And he was not built for this world because the wind would be like knocking him. Right. And she's like, why? You've lived here so long. And he's like, no, but I grew up on Trantor where we were under layers of non-sky.
He's not used to that gravity.
Never even, not just gravity, just wind in general.
Wind in general, yeah.
Oh boy, was clenching his fist trying to fight the wind.
he wasn't built for that. Bruh, how you gonna punch the wind?
And that's what, I love this line though. Don't fight the wind, Salvor Hardin. Don't fight the wind. Those are his last words to her. And oh my God.
Don't fight the wind.
Because it turns out when they go to blow up the ships, Salvor has another vision and she blacks out. And before she's discovered, he goes and sets the bomb.
He's like, you know what? I got you.
And then he needs coverage by the time Salvor wakes up and Hugo gets to her, all they can do is cover him so he doesn't get killed before he plants the bomb.
Before what they need to do happens. And he did it.
Homeboy goes out like a G, though. He goes out like a G.
Facts.
Okay? Because he got all three of them Corvettes.
Because the original plan was for Salvo to go on that run. But she locked into her vision and she couldn't. So he said, you know what? We ain't waiting. We can't wait for this. He grabbed the explosive. He ran around, placed everything, and she came to, found out what was going on, but she couldn't go in. It was too late.
Yeah.
She had to let him keep going.
That's the vision where she saw all that happened with him.
Yeah.
The first one was just she saw Raish in the library. The second one was where she saw the whole scene of when he stabbed Harry, and that was a longer one.
that was a bit of a callback for me because from the very beginning, our voiceover has been Gail. And Gail was saying in one of the previous episodes that, she named 5 people. And Salvo was one of those people. And she said, these were all names that I would come to learn. Yeah.
The Mule.
So her and Salvo are going to meet at some point. I know you've already watched, so you know when it's gonna happen, but I don't know when it's gonna happen. So I'm waiting for that moment. That's one of the pinpoints.
Well, I mean, as soon as they were like, Gail, you were asleep for 34 years, I was like, oh my God, she's gonna meet her.
I was like, yep. She's all. You might be going to this little dark star, but eventually you go into Terminus.
You go into Terminus. Yeah. And I'm here for it. Then after that happened, Salvor is all broken up. She's lost her dad. Like when he goes to go blow up the bomb, he goes, Salvor Hardin, Warden of Terminus, stick to your guns. Don't fight the wind.
Don't fight the wind. Like, bro, you know what? The two biggest life-changing things this man did in his lifetime was because of 2 girls.
Yes.
The woman that he loved and married and made his mate his partner, and the child that he raised. And like he said in the previous episodes, like, look, it's been an unspoken thing, but I'm saying right now, we've been following you for years already, Salvo. So continue to lead.
Continue
and go and do this shit.
Yes, I like that. And
that is why
that back out, because I forgot he said that.
Like on my list
unsure of her ability to be a leader, even though her intuition is on a million. Her intuition is on a. She's so humble
exactly. That's what it is. I think that's the best. That's the biggest thing that I love about her personality. She knows and recognizes that she has these traits, but she always keeps herself in check, and she always will try to listen to the group, get everyone's opinion. But if that opinion is wrong, she has no problem stepping up saying, hey, ABC, you're on some bullshit. Let's go over here and not over there. And what happened when people don't listen to her? Anarchy. And shit fucks up. But when you do listen to her, you can make your way through things. Even when they don't listen
to her, she stay ready for what's to come.
Always. And that's why I think her and Gail will be such a force to be reckoned with once they meet, because those two can course correct so quickly on everything to where whatever needs to be done, if plan A, B, and C don't work, they already still worked out plan D without even speaking a word. They just know this is where we need to go to correct this situation. So I am very much looking forward to where that's going to lead us and what we're going to find out once that interaction happens. And again, also shout out to what's her name, Farah, the leader of our rebels. First of all, I know she'll never see this stream, but first of all, she's sexy, so I like the aesthetic. And also, again, like I said earlier, she is on that same wavelength of Gail and Salvo. If you put those 2 together against anything, no one is winning but them.
Yeah, it's true.
And I kind of want them to like team up in some way, shape, or form, but that's probably not going to happen. I don't know. We'll see. Like Funda has watched like all this whole season. I have not. So
that's why I'm not saying anything. I'm letting you do your rants and get all your theories out.
That's it. That's oddly enough, I don't really have a theory. I don't really have so many theories on where this is going to go. Okay. I have things that I would like to see happen, but
it turns out now. Let me just wrap this up. But once they realize they've now killed all the ships, they know that they are going to have to get Hugo's ship.
Luna, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you for holding your tongue. We're getting there. We're getting there. I want all of your thoughts. Once I catch up, I want all of your thoughts.
Oh, and Luna, yes, the Grand Hunters. Wish we could chat, but no.
I mean, okay, well, look, no, y'all can chat, because Luna, if you have Instagram, Funda's links are down below. So if you want to slide into her DMs, you can. And the Great Hunt. Yeah, let's not finish your thought, and then let's talk about what was going on with that
so
hunt.
they go to Hugo's ship, and they're of course ambushed by Farrah's
Of
people.
course. Yep.
And immediately Hugo, smart guy, slaves the ship to Salvor. Immediately.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't undo it. She's like, I'm gonna kill you. He's like, eh. For Salvor?
I mean, if you need to, okay, cool.
This is the same woman I was gonna be buck naked for 15 hours with. So go ahead. I'm happy.
Yo, baby said no clothes for the next 23 hours, and he was like, "Hey."
Exactly. He was about it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Like,
yes, ma'am.
Do what also, you have to do, sir.
I also just want to point out the thing. Okay, because technically for us, these are like aliens that we're watching, even though they're humanoid and they look very human. These people are not from Earth. Hugo, it's kind of an Aragorn situation with him, isn't it? From Lord of the Rings, he's like 80, 90 years old or something.
Mad old. Yeah.
Yeah, but he still looks like he's a very seasoned.
Apparently, he's from
30 something.
He's from Thespis.
He's from where?
But whatever.
Thespis.
Yeah, the other planet that was blown up.
That's why I need side quests, and backstories, man.
Yes, because
there's so much. There's so many interesting things.
Why Hugo look like he's 35?
Tell me about
40.
his people.
Why?
I want to know about his people.
I want to age this way. What is this?
Son.
I don't want to live forever, but a little longer would be good.
I don't want to live forever, but I would like to look good until it's my time to go. Please and thank you.
Exactly. And then lastly, we get a little look at Dawn and Dusk and their little rivalry. So Dawn is in the garden with the gardener, of course, and this is where he's like with the red flower. He has
such a crush on her.
He gives him the red flower. She tells him it's good for pain. What makes you think I like pain? I need it for pain. And actually, this was after. So he comes and tells her, sorry that I was so harsh with you. It actually helped.
Hold on. Okay, so maybe it's just me, and I might be reading too much into it, but so I want to ask, did you like peep a little bit of shade that she was throwing too? Like, okay, bruh, I understand that you brand new and shit, but you're not just gonna talk to me any kind of fucking way. But she eased into that.
I didn't trust her because everybody else is afraid of these three.
Bow down immediately.
Okay, this girl was bold as
bold with a capital B.
She was so bold, and I was like, I got my good side eye on you. Okay.
And I think she's that way. I think she's that way because she read the room correctly.
She did.
Dawn, our new Dawn, he is a rebel.
He's different.
Plain and simple. He doesn't care about the system. He exactly. He different. He's looking at Brother Day and Brother Dusk. And he's like, you know what? I really don't give a fuck about y'all. I'm doing my own damn thing. I'm about to be in charge in a few years anyway. And I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. But there's this chick in the garden that has caught his eye.
What I would like
for some reason. And she, even though it seems like she's acquiescing to everything he's saying, she's low-key reading his ass for filth and he's just not seeing it.
And then playing him. With her language
left and right.
She's like, oh,
left
opening?
And right. So
there you go. So then
young lady,
he invites her up to his room for a view
to
from the
his
garden.
room.
And actually, this is after he actually goes hunting with Dusk, and Dusk thinks he's teaching him how to hunt, and homeboy kills like 7 creatures. He was like, oh, no, you don't have to teach me. I can do this on my own. Let's have a little competition.
Let's have a contest.
I was like, oh, you gonna challenge Dusk? Dusk is the same guy that blew up 2 planets in front of your face. Do you forget? Okay. He wasn't there actually for that. He wasn't there for that. Sorry.
Well, no, he wasn't, but he heard the story. And I think what we find out is, no, he did not forget that at all. And what he did was a very calculated thing. He beat Dusk's score when he did that.
But thank God that one guard was like, oh, you did great. You did a great job.
Yeah.
he never did this much on his
He
best day.
only
He goes,
got
wait,
this much.
how many has
And
he
what he
got?
was like,
What's his max?
say
He was
that
like
again, huh?
3. He said 3, and he goes, throw those 4
And he
over
had
there.
7.
I got 3.
He had
You hear me?
7
I
damn
got 3.
He's like, no, now bury them motherfuckers in the bush
Bury
right
them.
now. Get rid. Hey, look, if anybody asks you, I only got 3. Don't
You
look,
hear me?
do not
Exactly.
come at me.
How
Look,
many
you
did-
heard what the
how
fuck
many
I
did
said, right? Don't catch these
The
hands if you
backhand.
don't need to.
I didn't know he had it
And
in him.
because like Funda said earlier, this is a competition. It's
Yes.
not played as a competition,
No.
but that is what's happening. And
Yep.
Dawn knew at that point in time that no, I have to make sure
This
that
is what happens
I'm
when you're
at
not
his level.
socialized in the world, and the only people that you have to be around are this little circle. Who else
And
you gonna
that's
come
why
to?
that's why this Dawn, I think, is so different because he's smart enough and intuitive enough to see that.
Yep.
And he knows that if he does come back with 7 pheasants instead of 3,
doesn't want any attention on him.
Yeah. Yep. He knows that's gonna, not only is that gonna put a spotlight on him, but it's going to be a problem.
Yep.
And he does not want any ire from day or from dusk, because he's got his own machinations forming, and he can't allow for anything looking at him too closely. Yep. So it's a very smart play.
After
it's a very smart play.
Oh yeah, I got 3. He goes, oh, you met my one on your first.
Oh, you met my store, right? Like he's proud of him. But again, because this is we saw Brother Dusk in the prior episode when he was Day. The motherfucker was ruthless. So he's happy on the surface. At least I feel like he's happy on the surface. But in his mind, he's like, oh no. I know this motherfucker hiding something. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna play moving forward, because I don't think Dusk trusts that he only got 3.
Yeah. So this is also where we get he asks him if he feels like a man after the hunt, and he goes, yeah, you should. This is right around the time you become a man. And he takes him to Gossamer Court. Gossamer Court to get a concubine. And homeboy picks out the girl that looks like the girl in the garden. We had the bob cut.
I told you he
had the same frame. And they get to the room, and homeboy's ready, and he's like, no.
And he just wants to talk.
He goes, look at me. He just wants her to flip her hair around, look at him like the girl turns around and looks at him. And then he's like, I'll tell them you did great. And then he just talks.
I'll tell them you did great, and he leaves. But then the girl, honestly, maybe I'm wrong.
Setup. No, it was a setup from jump, because I think that Dusk suspects that something is up with him, and he's trying to find out what he's hiding. So
I get that, but why not just take the money? Why not just take the money? He said
the girl after, and the girl's like, he didn't do nothing to me. He didn't want it. And she goes, tell me everything he said. And we don't get to hear what that is, but
and that's the thing. But as far as we know, he didn't really say anything.
Right.
Because he literally just wanted to sit there and look at her.
Chatting. Exactly. But then the next day, Dawn sees the gardener and brings her up to his quarters, where they look at the view. And then he also reveals to her that he's colorblind, and a deviation from his brothers.
Not even a deviation. No, the better word, I think, is a defect.
Yes, and he doesn't want.
He's worried about that.
I don't cross my thumbs left over right. I do it right over left. I can't see colors.
Like if they're right-handed, he's gonna be left-handed.
He's left-handed. If I bring one thing into question, they're gonna question it all, and that means bad news for me. And she's like, "What do you mean bad news?" And he takes her to the what do you call it? The Imperium.
The fucking idiot that he is, he takes her to that
and shows her all this. But he gets his first
kiss. Did you not hear the question?
For him.
Did you not hear the question?
For him, it's probably worth it. So we're going to see how that plays out. But
I mean, look, when you think of what you
Miss
did,
Ma'am
then
is even more suspect, because let me tell you, If I was in this situation and I'm a worker bee in this situation and I get this stuff
Son,
revealed to me, I think I'm already dead. I'm like, you are leading me to my death. I am not coming with you. No,
I'm
sir.
not
I
going
don't.
anywhere.
No, sir. Can you
No,
wipe my
my
memory
job is in
now?
the garden. I'm
Sir,
supposed to be out there.
can you wipe my memory now? Can I go home now? I want to go
Mm-hmm.
home. I want to go to the scar. Please, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do I want some tea? No, no,
No,
gracias. No,
no.
gracias. No, no, no. I'll go. I still have to finish the row of bushes that I was doing when you came and got me. And my manager is gonna be very upset if I don't finish my duties today. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I
I
already
gotta
had
go.
like red flags about her, but we gonna find out more about this chick in episode 7.
Facts, facts. Oh, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the same thing before. I just didn't say it on the last stream that we did. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something sketchy about her, and I think she is. I don't think she's an outlier just yet, but I think she's a part of something that
She's
I
part of
haven't seen
something.
yet.
She's
Yeah,
part of something. Just remember, they got troubles in all 3 places. They got
all the way right.
Tom's buoy. Remember, he called it out before in
Yep, yep.
episode 3, and he said, "We got a comms buoy down. We got rebels on Trantor. We got,
All of
you
these random
know,
things happening.
exaltation from the conclave.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the things that Harry Seldon predicted." Well, yeah. So they got troubles on all 3
But
fronts, and
let's
he
not
did
listen
leave
to what
Dusk in
he's doing.
charge. He did leave
Yep.
Dusk in charge of making sure the insurgency was, handled. So I don't know what he's doing about that, but we're gonna find out what he is in the next episode. So more to
Yes.
come.
Yes. Indeed.
But
Indeed.
that's
So
it.
where would you rate this episode?
This one, I was really like, ooh, they leaving lots of questions. So yeah, I give this one a solid 8. Still
Okay.
good, like not a lot of forward movement. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. I'll give
With a
it an
lot of
8.
info.
Still well written.
Very much
Did
so.
have that
Yes.
rush I love the moments with Salva and her dad. But kind of I knew something was gonna happen to him just
I love
based
their
on that
family dynamic.
conversation. Yeah. So yeah. Sad, but
Yeah.
We'll
And that
I'll tell you this,
also
we'll get to see him again. Flashback wise.
awesome. Cool. And there was a small scene like when when Salvo's mom was taken hostage, when she actually caught up to
Yes.
Farah, that conversation that they had, everything that she said was basically just a clue to her
On what
mom
to do
that
next.
she needed
Yeah.
to drop down as
Yeah.
quickly as she could so she could get some shots off. And her mom read the room. She heard the words.
That's what you meant.
Like, are you sure? It was just that. Like, you don't think I was neglectful like that for real, though, right? Like we.
Yes.
I really love Salvo and her dynamic with her
Yes.
parents. Like that is a true family, and just sitting in the living room talking bullshit to me.
Yeah.
Like you guys know that, especially those of you that have been watching me since Game of Thrones when I first started. I always have my family on here, and if you didn't know, if you're a new watcher, welcome. But yeah, Funda's my cousin, so I always wrote my family into random things I do just to make them hang out with me, so we can talk and chill about nerdy things. So yeah, so I love seeing that family dynamic because like I'm all about families, just hanging out and being cool together, and
Right.
I love seeing that when it's in the shows that we like. So yeah, I would give this episode. I'll go a little bit higher than you for this one because I'm gonna give it like a 8.25.
Okay.
And it's only that low, honestly, because I know there's a lot more information that they need to give us, and I think there's a lot
story. I mean, there were things we
there's
didn't
still
even
a lot
talk
of
about,
action
right?
coming.
We also did.
There's a few things.
Couple of things we didn't talk about, like when they were picking. We see Farah and her crew like going through all the people that are left alive and what their skills are, and then you see her mom and Salvor coming to the conclusion that they're trying to, crew a jump ship. And she's like, "Why did you shoot down the ship if you need people to drive a ship? What are you doing?"
That was the reason.
Yeah.
That was the reason that her dad was setting those explosives, because they wanted to get rid of that jump ship, so they would to make them course correct.
The little girl who beat up the guard, heard the word Invictus and was able to tell Salvor that.
Yeah, and was able to
Salvor
translate it and get that back
he's
to
like,
her.
I know what that is. That is a ship that can like destroy a planet. Where
Which
did they find it? And then Salvo already knew
Salvo,
that. She called them up to that. Like
that's why I said Salvo,
like an encyclopedia in and of itself.
Exactly. Like Salvo,
herself.
you underestimated those kids. Okay, you're the warden. You're basically the leader now.
And they were
Give them
intel.
a little gold star. Okay,
they
right.
Were
those are your spy masters right there. Okay, get them on the job.
Them kids probably would have seen them people if she had them in the right places. She probably would have known they were there way before.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing, Luna. Yeah, you're exactly correct. It can't, psychohistory can't predict individuals, only large groups, right? And that's the unpredictability of what's going to happen. Yeah, you're exactly correct, and that's why I think that I don't think they would have shown us those two kids if they didn't come back in some either very helpful or just like a super grand way later on. I'm hoping I'm right, obviously, because they're kids. I love tiny humans, and I love when there's smart tiny humans in stories like this, because they can get into places that adults can't, and get in there easily and do the little spy master game like these two are doing. So I'm looking forward to seeing where those kids go, where their storyline might end up. I really like this episode so far. I think this is my favorite episode. It gave us a lot of information. There was a lot of good action. All of the stories move forward, and it gave us more questions that I'm looking forward to finding the answers to. So yeah, I am absolutely loving this series so far.
Yep.
So I know Sundays we're usually not here, but we have to reschedule because like real life doesn't stop for streams. So
I'm so sorry.
We will be back if everything works out. We will be back though next Monday. And tomorrow, actually, today's Sunday, right?
Yep.
What's today? Sunday? Okay.
Tomorrow.
I lose days sometimes.
You are going to be here tomorrow with your peoples for Wheel of Time.
The Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
The Wheel of Time. Me, Meeks, and I believe Lady D.
Wednesday instead of Thursday. If we do Thursday, it'll have to be
up to you.
8 my time. It'll have to be later. Yeah.
Okay. 8 your time will be 9. Yeah. Because I'm on with the boys at 9. Okay. So we can't send me a text and remind me, and we can definitely do Wednesday.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So coming up then Monday, I'll be with I will answer that in a moment, or we'll answer that in a second. Monday, I'll be with Lady D and Meeks. We're talking about the Wheel of Time. Episodes 4, 5, and 6. And then Tuesday, I'll be on with DJ and Fandom on DJ's channel. We're talking about Only Murders in the Building. What episode are we on? I think episode 6 or maybe 7. Oh, head over to DJ's channel. Link already down below, and you'll see the last episode that was posted on there. We're doing the next one. Wednesday, we're back with me and Funda. We're going to tackle episodes 7 and 8. Of Foundation for the week, and then Thursday
maybe 9, depending on. I got time right Wednesday, so maybe 9.
We'll see. Hey, if you want to pop 3 in, I can do that. Yeah. Think about it. Let me know.
We can save the finale for one episode by itself.
Oh, okay. Let me write that down right now as I'm talking, because that's telling me that the finale is going to have some shit going on. That has some shit going on. So that means it's gonna take up like the full 2.5 hours. So I'm here for that. All right. So 7, 8, and 9 on Wednesday for Foundation, and then Thursday I will be back with Fandom and DJ, and we're gonna be talking about Ahsoka episode 7, I think. Again, head over to DJ's channel. Whatever the last episode we did, we're doing the next one after. And then Friday, I think we're off. We had trivia last Friday. So not that Friday, but the Friday after, we'll be doing some Jackbox games and just hanging out and chilling. And I don't know, we'll go from there. I do have my All Hallows Eve extravaganza festivals coming up. Me and Funda, I believe. What were we talking about? Vampires? Is that what we're doing?
We said, yeah, we need to.
Or was it witches? No. I'm doing witches with Melissa and Abby from.
We were going to do favorite scary movies for witchy season.
That's right. I'm sorry. There's like 1,000 people that I've talked to. This is a huge project I'm doing, and I don't have my notes for it in front of me. So fave scary movies, which are there's going to be a lot of my childhood on that list.
It's gonna be a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street on that. God damn it.
And speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm not the only one that's doing some All Hallows Eve festivities. My ladies from Thousand Eyes and One, Nikki and Tanya, will be doing some things too. If you head over to Instagram and you follow them, you'll see like the whole list of what's coming up for them. They're going to be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1. And I believe I'll be on with them for that. And if you remember last year on my channel, we did Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. Mm-hmm. And so we're completing the Nancy trilogy, as we call it. We're going to do Part 1 there, which started with Nancy. Dream Warriors was Part 3 of the series, and Nancy came back for that one too. And then on my channel for this season, we're going to do Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which was all of the actors pulled into the story as themselves and also as the characters that they played to complete the Nancy trilogy. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be talking with Abby and Melissa from Drawbridge Media about our favorite witches. 2 streams for that because we took Hogwarts and Harry Potter into account, but we didn't want to put them in with the witches list because it's literally a school of witches. So we wanted to separate that. Our favorite witches, and then do a Potter.
Until you get to movies 7 and 8, I think. when they really trying to start killing him.
Well, it's not. Yeah, see, I don't think any of them are scary. It's just the witchiness of it all.
Okay.
That I'm looking at, and then Fun and I are going to be talking about vampires.
I might argue that Harry Potter doesn't really follow the conventional rules of witchdom.
No, it doesn't. And that's one of the things I do like about it.
Yeah, use
honestly, that. I like when I see different things in lore.
Yeah,
different things. And then I will be also, because I'm doing vampires, I am also a fan of werewolves. Myself and my little sister Sherry will be doing a list of favorite werewolves in movies and TV shows that we've seen. And there's a few other things that I've got going on. There's some scary stories that I want to cover from like shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps. Are You Afraid of the Dark was one of my favorites as a kid growing up in the Nickelodeon age of the early 90s. And let's see, what's another good thing? Me and Meeks are going to do some reactions for random scary movies in person. Like y'all know, we both live in the same city, but we've actually like never hung out together in person because we found each other on YouTube. So that's going to be like our first shindig, hanging out and just talking about random nonsense in these scary movies. It's going to be fun. And I'll probably have, y'all know Daphne and Tanisha, they've been on with me too. My other 2 cousins. So we'll be on for doing something about that. But it's basically my 13 days of Halloween. So yeah, Luna, you're right. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I've been planning this. You better make a schedule
and then stick to the schedule.
Yes, I'm going to be working on the schedule this coming week.
Okay,
so we can get everything lined up. And also, I am in a writers group that I'm doing with Nikki from Thousand Eyes and One, and everyone has agreed. I pitched a thing to them about writing some like short scary stories for it. So we're gonna put a video together of some cool stories that are creepy, narrated by all of the authors in our group, and I think it's gonna be really cool. So nice. I got some things coming for you guys. So all I'm saying is just look out. Like set the notifications, like the banner says, comment, share, and subscribe. You know.
Yep.
We actually, I've never paid attention to my numbers. Yeah.
So we can hold.
I've never paid attention too much to my numbers on YouTube, but I do want to try to grow a little bit this year because we're having fun with this. So.
Yep.
We're gonna make it do what it do. And
right.
you know what? That is a good one to put on. Cirque du Freak. Yes, I like that movie.
So Luna
I
said
actually
her
want to read
favorite
that book series, but
characters
we'll get
are
there.
for this series are Damrzel and Gale. And I actually agree
Damsel and
with.
Gale,
I need to
and
add
okay.
Damrzel, Gale, and Salvor are my favorite.
I really like her character. I think those are my top 4: Damsel, Gale, Salvor, and Farah.
Oh, and Farah, of course, because you're in love with Farah.
Those 4, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just about the looks, but just
sure.
their demeanor and how they handle situations.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Like, how do you not like that?
It's true.
But yes, but that is our discussion. That is our discussion for the evening, folks.
All right.
And yeah, so come back and come back and hit us up tomorrow. And again, we'll be back here Wednesday talking about some more Foundation. So hope to see you guys there.
All right.
And until then, have a great night and a great start to your week. Catch you later.
Bye.